try to scare the ever-living out of somebody. It's the only time I feel my humanity come back.
We passed near Loveland, but we didn't go in.
Someone got hurt while you guys were in Loveland.
Why would you think that I'm here talking to you?
I honestly don't know.
Meet Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Ayla Osterloth and Aaron Lambertus, a killer duo responsible for a brutal plot, completely unaware that they were caught on camera.
Your car that you're driving with him in the passenger seat goes through Loveland, okay? And I have video of it, okay?
How did the bullets start flying?
What could scare people more than hearing gunshots?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't remember.
How much trouble is she actually in?
Now, they'll start telling very different versions of the same story, not realizing that both of them are already in serious trouble.
Am I under arrest?
You are.
I know 3 different blow dealers that get breaks on breaks. If you can hook me up, I will give you names and addresses of 3 different people.
Of course I'm terrified.
You are under arrest for attempted first-degree murder.
On the night of August 9th, 2023, police in Loveland, Colorado received a 911 call reporting that someone had been shot in the parking lot of a Safeway on North Cleveland Avenue. 2 homeless men were sleeping outside when a vehicle drove by and someone inside opened fire. One man was shot in the lower legs and taken to the hospital, while the other narrowly escaped. When detectives reviewed nearby surveillance cameras, they spotted a dark-colored SUV belonging to a man named Aaron Lambertus leaving the scene. But by that point, Lambertus and his girlfriend, Ayla Osterloth, were already hundreds of miles away in Bozeman, Montana. Detectives traveled there to bring them in for questioning, trying to understand why 2 strangers would drive through a quiet Colorado town and start shooting at people they had never even met. And what they were about to hear would shock them.
Knowing that I'm a detective from Loveland, Colorado, why would you think that I'm here talking to you?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. All right. So I'm here to talk to you about the trip you guys made to Colorado, okay? And when you went to Loveland, I need to talk to you about why you were in Loveland, Colorado, and it wasn't for long, I know that. I just need to know why you were in Loveland. What brought you to northern Colorado?
We passed near Loveland, but we didn't go in. We went down and we saw my grandmother and one of my cousins lives in Thornton, so we hung out with them for a day, and then another one lives in Highlands Ranch. Then my grandmother lives in Denver proper. And then we were just down in Canyon City seeing, what's it called, Great Sand Dunes, and we stayed in Estes Park too for a night on the first day.
So when did you get to Colorado?
Oh boy. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to do some math in my head.
Okay.
It's the 11th today, right? I am almost positive it was the 4th. I would have to check to make sure. I can't remember what day it is anymore with us camping so much.
So how many days were you in Colorado? Is that easier to think?
Yeah. 5. Yeah.
Okay.
What the detective learned from all the places Ayla said they went to in Colorado was the route they traveled. And what he could conclude from that was at some point on that trip, they had to go through Loveland, not around it as she claimed, unless, of course, their SUV suddenly developed the ability to teleport from one place to the other.
Remember I told you I'm going to be honest with you. So somehow you made it, you went through Loveland, and even if it was for a short time, as I'm pretty sure it was, but that would have required you to go down Highway 34 from Estes Park. Is that a possibility and you're confusing 36 with 34?
It could be, but I think I would remember that. My memory is really good for going like through places. I don't remember though if we did.
Fair enough.
I just know that we went through Boulder that day.
Okay. Have you ever been to Loveland?
Yeah, my cousin Brooklyn actually used to live there.
Okay. And when's the last time you were in Loveland?
Oh gosh, probably like 4 or 5 years. I was in my early teens.
Okay. So this last trip that you went to Colorado and you went everywhere that you're explaining you went, were you in Loveland? And I obviously I'm here and I came a long way,
Yeah.
right? I wouldn't be here if I didn't know some of the answers for the questions that I'm asking you, right?
Yeah.
And so when I ask you, did you even drive through Loveland? You really need to think about, it's just a simple question, right?
Yeah.
Driving through Loveland is not a crime, right?
I know.
It's not a big deal. So that's why I'm just trying to make sure that we're on the same page.
Yeah, I know we went from Estes Park to Boulder, and then I know we drove down I-25 that goes like down past.
You went north on I-25?
Yes.
Past Loveland?
Yeah.
Did you
And
get
that's
off
also
on
how we
any
got down.
exits? Did you get off them?
Not that I remember, no.
All right. What car were you guys in?
Our Volkswagen.
Is it yours? Or is it, you guys buy it together?
We bought it together, but he's the one on the, buying slip.
On the pink slip?
Yeah, but when it gets registered, we're going to. I've tried to register it like 8 times. That was full.
Okay. Where did you guys buy that car at?
At Volkswagen in Bozeman.
Oh, here? Mm-hmm. Okay. And did you buy it brand new?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real nice car. So you guys traveled in style, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so what color is that car?
It's red.
Oh, it's red.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything unique about it that you guys did after you bought it? Did you do anything to that car? Any kind of modifications or anything like that?
Nothing, no.
Nothing?
No.
Okay. If you had to describe that car to me, other than being red, can you describe it, what it looks like? Generally is fine.
It's a pretty generic red SUV. There's nothing super interesting about the shapes that I can think of. It's pretty,
The lights.
looks like most. I mean, it has, the headlights are just like a bright, strip. The grille is silver. The, model, the Atlas is, on the back, on the, across the thing that goes over the back license plate. That's all I can think of.
Here, Ayla is happily describing the exact vehicle they were traveling in. Detectives are letting her believe this is just a harmless conversation about their trip to Colorado, when in reality, they are simply hearing the description of the same vehicle they already saw on camera one more time. And fortunately for her, they'll want to gain a little more trust before they start asking the serious questions.
I know for a fact, though, when you were in northern Colorado, and you may not, maybe, who was driving? Let me ask you that. Who was driving when you came down from Estes Park?
Me. Yeah, me.
Okay. Who usually drives?
Me for the most part.
How come?
I just like driving. He likes being the passenger, and then sometimes we switch. But it's especially if we're driving at night, I usually have to drive. Sometimes he can see fine, but
Because seeing at night is not
he has
easy.
astigmatism, so it just makes it hard for him to see. But sometimes it's fine. It just depends.
Okay. That makes sense. When you guys were in Colorado, how many times do you think he drove and you drove? Or do you drive the majority of the
I
time?
drove for the most part, and he just drove a couple times. But yeah.
I mean, traveling the country can be very scary for some people. And it doesn't freak you guys out a little bit?
No.
Yeah, you guys have never had any encounters where, or anything, your car breaks down or you're scared of maybe?
We've popped tires, but we've popped the same tire twice on one highway, and it's right in town.
Okay. You ever had to defend yourself?
Mm-mm.
No. Any bear spray or anything like that? Camping?
We keep bear spray in case we have bears. I grew up here, so I always make sure.
Absolutely.
But we've never had bear issues or really any animals.
Okay, so you just don't have any other things to protect yourself against a bear or anything when you're going camping? If I were to go camping, I would. I'll be honest, I would have my gun or a knife or something, right? And so that's why I was like, if you camp so much.
We have bear spray, and then he keeps a pistol in the car for just in case, but never had issues.
Never had to shoot a bear?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, that's a real good
Most
thing.
pistols would do nothing against a bear.
Well, and that's what I was getting into next, unless it's some sort of huge caliber. What caliber is it?
Oh gosh. He's the one that knows that well, not me.
What would you think it is?
I know nothing.
Remember, detectives here aren't asking random questions about camping gear or road trips. They're trying to establish two very simple facts. Who was driving the SUV and who had access to the gun? And without realizing it, Ayla has just answered both.
So your car, let's talk about that. It's a nice car. It's unique. Would you describe it as a unique car?
Probably, yeah.
Why?
I don't see him around all the time. Since we have a Volkswagen and Bozeman, now I see him more, but it's not like anything super, it's not like a Lamborghini, but it's not like a Chevy, so
You're right.
stands out slightly more.
I'm glad you said that word. It does stand out.
Yeah.
It's a unique car, especially with the roof, the storage compartment up there. It's pretty neat. It's nice, and it does stand out in the way that it does have that roof rack, and it unfortunately it's not registered, but the grill shows because it doesn't have the front license plate. It just looks nice and it stands out. I agree. And the reason I think it stands out, and I know it stands out because I was looking at it, and I saw all those things that you're describing to me, and I was like, yeah, that's a nice car. And where I saw that car was in Loveland, and that's where I work. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to get at is your car that you guys were in for a short period of time was in Loveland. And this is where I'm being very honest with you. I'm not lying to you at all, okay? And I just don't want you to be scared to be honest with me, because it's not a big deal if you're driving this nice fancy car in Loveland, okay? But you're saying you never were in Loveland, but I know for a fact that car was in Loveland. That's what got me here to Montana to speak with you. Okay, so I'm going to just go back a little bit and maybe just jog your memory a little bit based off of how I just described it. Think carefully about when you guys were in Loveland for a short period of time in the evening, and it would have been on Wednesday.
I don't remember anything.
You can almost see Ayla thinking through the math here, trying to figure out how much they actually know. But at this point, she should be aware of how much trouble she's in if she keeps holding back the truth about what really happened. Who knows? Maybe she still hasn't learned that staying quiet about a crime doesn't make you innocent.
People can take away your car, people can take away your money, people can take away a lot of things in this world, but there's one thing that nobody can take away unless you allow them to. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's your word. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. And the way you allow somebody to take your word away from you is when you lie, right? Because then you're not trusted. And so now nobody believes you, right? I'm not there with you. Quite the contrary, you're being very honest with me. But I know that you're worried, you're scared, but you have a lot going for you. And I don't want to see you not be honest with me because you're scared and all of that, and then find yourself getting in trouble for that. It's simple. I know and you know, okay? what I'm here for. Okay? It's just Loveland. Okay? I can tell you that everybody on this earth that was around you during that time that you were in Loveland is still on this earth. Okay? I can tell you that nobody is killed or anything of that nature. But if I don't know the reason behind what happened when you were driving through Loveland, that's where it gets complicated, because then we don't understand why this random thing happened in Loveland. So if you knew these people, and I understand you giving me the look like you don't know what I'm talking about, but what I'm talking about is an incident that happened when you were driving in downtown Loveland, okay? If you didn't know the people that I'm going to explain to you right now, I need to know that. But if you did, I really need to know that, okay? Please just think carefully when I ask you this question, okay? Because this is a big question, all right? And remember, I have video. And so this is where the rubber meets the road, kiddo, okay? And I mean this, I really do. I'm being so upfront with you. Is when you're in Loveland, you guys, either you or him or both of you shot at some people that were lying on the street, some transients, homeless people, okay? I don't know what these people did to you guys, if they did something to provoke that, if they had just tried to hurt you beforehand, if they ripped you off for whatever reason. But there's reasons behind everything, and those reasons is what I need to know from you, okay? It's not if it happened because I have it on video. It's why. Is there something that provoked this to happen? Because you, knowing what I know about you, you wouldn't just go out and, this just wouldn't go out and happen. There's a reason why this happened. And that's what I'm trying to get to understand. Nobody died, I can tell you that right now. Everybody's fine. But we have to understand why it happened. Does that make sense to you at all, kiddo?
Yeah.
And so what did these people do? Did they do something to you? Did they rip you guys off? Did something happen that created this situation?
I don't know.
Well, did they do something to your fiance that you...
I don't know.
What did he say? That why did this happen?
I don't know.
He said, I don't know why I did this? I mean, I don't
know.
You help me understand that. Help me understand you don't know. You don't know why it happened. It just happened, or is it...
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know anything.
Isn't it crazy how suddenly Ayla's memory has become so foggy? But just because she says she doesn't know 1,000,000 times doesn't mean that detectives are going to accept that and leave her alone. Aaron, however, has a lot more to say, mostly because he believes Ayla had already snitched on him in her interview.
Am I under arrest?
You are.
Okay.
So we're going to get to that. Clearly, it sounds like it was quite the event, but you are under arrest. You're not free to leave. But, with that said, there's some things that we do want to talk about. And of course, our state, we have this form, we have all these rules that we have to abide by. I want to read those to you just to make sure we're on the same page.
Just know that we've been, for the last hour, we've been talking to your fiance, and she's fine. I just want you to know that, okay?
Is she also under arrest?
Yes, but she's fine. I just want you to have peace of mind, not her.
Is there any chance I can see her before we go? I don't want to talk to her. I want to give her a hug.
We'll cross that bridge and figure that out when we're done here, okay? I'm not making you a promise or anything like that. We don't run the show here, all right? This is Montana, and we're from Colorado, but we'll figure something out. We'll inquire for you, okay? I promise you.
I mean, I'm willing to help you guys out too. I know 3 different blow dealers that get bricks on bricks, meth, heroin, If you can hook me up, I will give you names and addresses of 3 different people that sell blow and H and pounds of weed.
Before detectives even get into the case, he's offering to trade information about drug dealers if they let him go. Apparently, he thinks this is how interrogations work. But unfortunately for him, detectives weren't there to negotiate with him.
You have the right to the presence of an attorney prior to questioning, to have your attorney present during questioning if you so
Does that
desire.
mean now?
What's that?
Does that mean right now?
Yes.
Then I want my attorney present.
Okay. Well, if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you
Money is
prior
not
to
an
questioning.
issue.
And okay. So my understanding, I want to be absolutely clear. So you don't want to speak with us without your attorney present.
I know from having a defense attorney as a dad that a lot of things that I say now could very easily me when they shun it later. So I just don't want that to be the case.
Okay.
I am very happy to sit and talk to you guys if it's going to take hours to get an attorney, but I also don't want to get screwed over.
Well, and I'm not trying to screw you over either, but we have to be clear about this, right? Like, if you're saying you won't talk about that without an attorney, I mean, we're going to respect that. We're not going to keep an attorney for hours just to have you talk, right? So I just need you to be clear.
What all do you guys know? Like, seriously, what did she tell you? Because if she told you everything, then it's not worth me waiting for an attorney.
I mean,
I know that you can say that.
look, I want to have this full. I mean, I'm not.
I do
just to like. I don't want to have a one-sided conversation.
I know.
And to have a two-sided conversation.
I will be extremely open and honest about everything. I just need to know what she told you guys, because I don't want to get her in more trouble.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's in a good amount of trouble right now. Like, I mean, that's why we wanted to talk to you, but we operate under very strict rules
I know.
federally, and I can't violate anyone's rights. Yours, hers, anyone's.
Okay, let's talk.
Okay, I'm gonna make this very clear.
I know.
Right?
I don't need an attorney.
I'm just gonna read it through one more time, just so we're all on the same page. Okay? Do you understand your rights?
Yes. It's also like, even if I can't afford an attorney, I don't have one on standby.
Well, one more point here. You may stop answering anytime you like. Would you be willing to answer some questions now?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, if you guys can try your best to hook me up with her, I will be honest and open about everything.
Are you referring to an attorney or to
No, I mean, I
Ayla?
just want to be able to see her and make sure she's alright.
Okay.
What I can tell you this is, I can't promise you that.
I
I'm not
know.
going to sit here and lie to you, because we
You
don't
don't
do
have
that.
to promise,
No,
but-
I get that, but I will, like I told you, what I will promise you is we'll inquire, okay? But we just want to make sure something's very clear to you, okay? Initially, you said you wanted an attorney, okay? And we have to make sure that we're not threatening you, coercing you,
No.
or promising you anything
I
in
know.
order for you to talk
You're
to
not.
us.
You're definitely not.
Okay, you talking to us is completely voluntary in regards to not having an attorney here, and we are not influencing you in any
No,
way.
you're not. You're not promising me anything. You're not forcing me to talk.
Okay, so you're saying you do not want an attorney, and you want to talk about why we're here from Loveland, Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Ayla already told you everything, he says, then there's no point of waiting for a lawyer. Translation? He's convinced his girlfriend has already sold him out, so he might as well start talking, which is exactly why detectives mentioned her interview in the first place.
The reason we're having this conversation today is obviously we know that you guys were in Colorado. We also know that you guys were in northern Colorado, and specifically Loveland. Now that car you guys are in, that's kind of how we ended up all the way here in Montana. And you were mentioning, stuff about drug dealers and stuff like that. I'll be honest, man. I never really got into the whole narcotics comp thing. Like, I had a lot of friends that they were smoking pot when it wasn't legal. They were using other drugs.
About that.
Yeah, like these days, no one cares. But like growing up, like I just didn't really care about the drug scene. That's not for me. I'm more so interested in crimes that involve people getting hurt. So that's kind of where my passion is. And we're here today because someone got hurt while you guys were in Loveland. So, I mean, I'm not going to bully you, but I need to know, I mean, what's the story behind that? Like, we know your car was there, we know what happened, it's the why that I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't think either of you are bad people. I don't think...
I will literally put that rage on myself. Like, if I'm sure you guys see the giant cracks on the inside of the windshield on that car, it's literally from me throwing my phone at it. Try to punch it. Try to throw something that's not a brick on it. It's like impossible to break that thing. It's awful. It's so bad, and the only thing that works isn't even trying to hurt someone, it is literally just trying to scare them. Which makes me very different, and I'm well aware, than any other bad person out there, because most people want to do it because they want to cause pain and they want to torture. The only way I can get my shit to calm down is if I scare the out of somebody, and that is literally all I try to do.
And that's huge. That's really important. We talk to people that, I mean, their goal is to hurt people, right? Like,
No.
I'm not getting, I mean, even you just asking about Ayla, I'm not getting that vibe from you. But, I mean, the important thing is just tell me from start to finish, like, you know what we're talking about. I mean, what happened?
I mean, it was literally, we are in the tent. I mean, we had a really good day where we actually talked about it. They needed to be talked about, but neither one of us, A, I think knew how to bring it up, and B, even with, because I mean, this whole year it's been working through what ended up being 17 hours. I finally was able to like break that wall and talk about it, and since then there was just that really needed to get processed on both ends. And it just randomly happened then, and she's looking at me like, baby, I love the out of you, but I don't know how to help with that. And it's like, dude, I don't either, because it's like everything else that I try doesn't work at all. To the point where I am literally losing who the I am every day. It's like literally the only thing that works, and the only time she has ever seen it work is when I just try to scare the ever living out of somebody. It's the only time I feel my humanity come back.
Did you know these people that you were trying to scare?
No. It's always random people. It's never with the intention to hurt them.
Well, let me ask, how did the bullets start flying?
What could scare people more than hearing gunshots?
Aaron now explains that he only fired the gun to scare someone so he could feel humane, which might be one of the most backwards explanations detectives have heard in a while. According to Aaron's logic, firing a gun at people in the middle of the night is somehow an act of emotional self-discovery. What he conveniently ignores is that the people he chose to scare were sleeping on the ground and completely defenseless.
Were you aiming at anything?
No, I literally aimed at the ground right below the car. I read the article. The fact that the one article I read actually said that he ended up going to the hospital from a possible GSW, but then the line next to it said it is unclear if he got hurt because of gunfire. Made me happy.
And that's important to throw out there. I mean, you've already heard it, but
I need to make sure.
Yeah, I can tell that, you know, that eats you up, and he's fine. That's good. Well, he's out and walking around. I actually talked to him the other day, and if anything, I mean, he's confused as we are, right? And that's important for us to understand. So
I know.
Did you know him at all?
No, of course not.
Did you see him earlier in the day, or?
It's literally just driving around and trying to find one person. Because I don't want to traumatize so many people.
Did this only happen the one time in Colorado?
Yeah.
And you've been honest this whole time. I mean, I have no reason to doubt that, but I just want to hear it straight from you. And Where were you sitting in the car when this happened?
Passenger seat,
And which gun were you using?
G43.
You know where that gun is right now?
That should still be in the car. I also have the FN 509 in there, but that's literally just like it's so carry.
So that part of Loveland, I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to get too specific, but have you ever been there before?
I've never even heard of it.
How'd you guys end up? So that was kind of something that
It was our way home. We just passed by a sign and it's like, dude, it. It's worth it to have part of your humanity back.
when Ayla was driving and said you were in the passenger seat.
At this point, the problem is no longer who is driving and who is shooting. The problem is that Aaron insists he wasn't aiming at anyone. He says he was just shooting next to the car. But bullets don't accidentally hit people's legs while politely avoiding their targets.
The only other, so while you mentioned have some alcohol, have some marijuana, use any other drugs or?
All the time, or like every once in a while?
Which one of those?
I mean, we do shrooms and acid. I would say not all the time, but pretty frequently.
How about during your trip in Colorado?
We really just did acid. That's all we did. I mean, I do blow when I have it, but I've been out for like 2 weeks.
On Wednesday night, the night you guys were driving back and the night of the shooting, using any drugs or alcohol?
No. No, I mean, there might have been 1 or 2 oxys that she took from her grandma, but I think that was it.
Okay. And right now, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
Painfully sober.
Appreciate that. Any questions?
Yeah, so thank you, man, for being honest. I really do appreciate that, okay? So specifically to the night when the shooting happened, tell me about what you guys were talking about when you were looking for somebody to shoot.
I couldn't have it be someone possibly get hurt that was actually, sounds awful, but if a contributing member to society, if they had kids or a wife or a husband, I couldn't risk them actually getting hurt. So I had to find someone that no one would really care about.
Just tell me about how you described that to her, about how you wanted to not shoot somebody that had a family or that was a contributing member to society, in your words.
My logic was, I think if there's a possibility I could hurt someone, I need to find someone that is so hooked on, even if they got hurt, they want to know.
Is that what you guys talked about beforehand then? Is to find somebody that wouldn't, exactly how you described it, hooked on maybe a drug addict?
Yep.
And I'm not putting words in your mouth.
No, that's literally, I was like, that's it. That's the only target I will go for.
Okay. So that's why this person, when you saw this person on the ground there, what is it you saw in them that made you believe that they were?
It wasn't even him that I wanted to go after. It was the 100% tweaked out girl that was sitting 2 or 3 cars next to them. But I wouldn't have been able to get even a warning shot off without 14 different people seeing directly, and that's not what I want.
Okay.
I honestly figured he's laying down. I don't even have to aim at him. It could be so close and just...
So how did you come about spotting that person?
It wasn't difficult. I mean, we literally just drove to downtown. We saw Safeway, and I'm like, I know back home, Walmart has the weird people, all right? It's great. We love Walmart. And literally, as we're leaving, I see 5 homeless people sitting on the corner.
So you passed and then came back?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
The pass is I would rather find 1 person than 5. And not because I want to get away with and not because I want to make sure that they get hurt. It's like we fired those shots and I see some dude across the street drop his bike and his bag and sprint away. I don't want that many people to have to be affected by the one thing I feel like I have to do to feel normal.
So you spot these people, you go down the street, and you come back.
Literally, we circled so many times because I'm trying to find just one good person that I can, unfortunately, traumatize. I couldn't.
And would it be fair to say that she didn't want to hurt anybody that would be a contributing member to society?
No. Our goal wasn't to hurt people to begin with. But I mean, it's like, if I had the right amount of when I was a kid, I wouldn't be here. So why would I risk taking away something to someone that is important and actually a parent to them? I can't look at a normal person and not think, what if they're super good or dad, and what if that was me when I needed them?
Aaron thought he had the right to decide who mattered to society, which is ironic because by his own standards, he'd be pretty close to the bottom of that same society. On top of that, he makes a point to clarify that he was completely sober that night, which, in his mind, probably helps his case. Unfortunately, being sober while deciding to shoot at random people doesn't exactly make the situation better. And just when detectives thought this case couldn't get any worse, Aaron revealed something from his past that would send a chill down the spine of everyone in that room.
We've talked to a lot of people throughout the course of, what happened. We've talked to a lot of members of Ayla's family as well, and so she has a lot of love and support, but there's also a lot of concern I'm hearing for you, both from her and from her family. I mean,
Why?
it sounds like you talked about a traumatic event when you were 13.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that got brought up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's when it all started. My mom has always had people come in and out of her life, and I mean, we say my mom, but her parents adopted me because after this story, will be very clear why she was an awful person, but I mean, she had super bad drug addiction, and she had me doing lines and taking pills with her when I was 13, but it's like one of her boyfriends I thought he was super cool, we vibed really well, and then the one time I remember super vividly was then I knew my mom wouldn't believe me because she was so just focused on all of the dudes. And then I remember a couple days later, I was smoking a joint with them, and what I thought was a joint, but it made me so dizzy that the entire world was spinning, so I know damn well now that it was not a joint. And I woke up in his basement and helped him stab some 13 times. I remember helping him cut up the body and throwing it in the river, and then waking up back home. And honestly, I thought it was a nightmare.
Sounds like a nightmare. Where was this?
I was back home in Kentucky. I have no idea who she was. I don't remember. I remember the stuff that I don't want to remember. And then I finally told my mom before I moved out here, and I mean, she was just like, yeah, I'm glad you didn't tell me. I wouldn't have believed you at all. And then she looked up, because I know his first name was Michael, and I don't remember his last name, but he had killed himself a couple months after that.
Oh, and again, I mean, I'm getting that you don't want to cause harm to anyone, but just have to ask, have you hurt anyone else?
No. No. I tried everything I could to make sure it was tamed, to the point where, you go on like BDSM websites and you find people that want some really but it's all willing. And I mean, that worked for a while, and it didn't help. Nothing helped.
Besides scaring people.
Yeah, it's as close as you can get to causing violence without actually being violent.
Are there any other times where you're shooting your gun, not aiming at anyone, or just...
I mean, I shoot all the time. But not
for purposes of...
Not like that. Like, that is the first time I have felt as human in years. I was scared that I'd actually hurt that guy.
I think that means a lot that that's, the first thought that I'm hearing from you. I mean, we're here wondering if there was, anything else, if it was, if there's other context to it. But
No, it's really not.
Apparently, Aaron felt a little better once he heard that the man he shot was still alive, which is a pretty interesting definition of relief coming from someone like him, because only a few minutes ago, he casually mentioned that he stabbed a woman 13 times when he was 13. It's the kind of thing most people would struggle to even say out loud. For Aaron, it sounds like he's remembering an old road trip.
Where in Kentucky were you living when you helped stab this woman? What?
Louisville.
What city? Exactly, that's Louisville?
Yeah.
Is there a suburb or anything that's connected to that?
I don't know where the hell I was.
Do you remember the address you were living at the time?
I remember my mom's address.
What's that? Did you ever look in media and see if this girl was, there was a press release or anything about a girl missing?
Nothing ever came up. I guarantee you she was a prostitute. Guarantee you, based on what she was wearing and what she looked like, and the fact that there was absolutely no information.
Black, white, or something else?
Black.
Black. About how old?
Maybe early 20s.
Remember the tattoos she had?
No.
Tell me everything you can remember about her.
She had super short black hair. It was probably, like a pixie cut, a bob cut. Super short, blonde. She had 2 super long hoop earrings, and then she had 1 diamond stud. It was definitely fake. Right above the right one. She had blue press-on nails. Ridiculously long. I couldn't tell you what the hell she was wearing clothes-wise because she was naked when I was there.
You said you helped throw her in the river?
In the Ohio, yeah. I remember we cut her up, put her in hefty trash bags. He weighed them down with a little bit of dirt. We duct taped them and then threw every single one of them into the Ohio.
You know whereabouts in the Ohio River?
I know exactly where we dumped it, but I don't know the address.
Was it by your mom's house?
No, it's closer to my actual parents' house.
You know their address?
Yeah, 113 Tribal Road. There are a ton of boat docks. If you go down Tribal and you hit River Road, there's probably like 5 or 6 different boat docks off of River Road. I remember the exact one we went to. It was the one that was super close to the Louisville Boat Club. It's like right next to it. There's a private one and then there's a publicly owned one.
So when you say you helped stab her, am I misunderstanding you? Or tell me about how you helped kill her.
I mean, he said, you are going to stab this me, otherwise you are going to die. So I watched him cut off 2 different fingers. He cut off a foot. He stabbed her right here. And then he walked over to me, because I was literally waking up from God knows what, and I was tied to a pole that he has in his basement. He said, you are going to help me stab this, otherwise you are going to die first.
What did you use to stab her?
It was some pocket knife that he had. The blade was only about this long. It wasn't big. It had a green handle, and it was thicker at the top, thinner on the bottom, and it had a little piece of paracord.
Whatever happened to that knife?
I don't know. I'm assuming he put it in one of his bags, but he could have kept it.
Here, Aaron already had accepted that prison was in his future. So the only strategy left was to frame everything happening now as the result of a traumatic childhood. That probably explains why he goes into such disturbing detail about this bizarre stabbing from his past. Meanwhile, Ayla was still pretending she knew nothing and hoping it would somehow work. Spoiler alert, it will not.
I got a video of your car with you guys in it driving through Loveland on Wednesday night, a little after 9 o'clock, okay? That 9mm gun in your car, either you or he took a couple of shots at some transient homeless people laying on the floor. Okay, it's not rocket science. And the reason I say that is because we got video. It's unfortunate for you guys that you get this happened where there happens to be a video camera. Okay, and you guys just take off. But I don't know what happened beforehand to provoke that. So this is something that was they're saying they were going to do something to you and you're trying to protect yourself to prevent that, which is why sometimes people carry guns to protect themselves. I need to know that. Because right now, all I have is a video. And the video just shows you guys driving by, doing the shooting and simply leaving, and it looks like it's just unprovoked. And so if there was a reason behind it, that's the big piece of this puzzle that only you know, not me, because I wasn't in the car, okay? I don't want to see you get yourself in trouble for something like this if you didn't pull the trigger. And if you did, what's the reason? What why were these people, did they do something, or was it something that it was just a, you know what, we just were screwing around with the gun when we drove by and it went off? It was something like that. I need to know that. Because right now, we've got the bullets from that gun, the casings, fell out the window. See what I'm saying? Got that stuff. Got the video. And so we have to understand why. And so, did you pull that trigger?
No.
Would you do something like that?
No.
So why do you think he did this? What's the reason behind this? Are these people somebody he knows?
There's no way.
Well, I don't know. They're transients. They're actually homeless people that were laying on the street. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you guys know these people? Did you go there for a reason? If you went there to even buy weed, I don't know. That's why I asked you about that. I was thinking, well, maybe they ripped them off trying to buy some weed. Maybe they took some money and they said they were going to be right back and they never came back, and then you know, and that's what happened. A mistake happened. If that's the case, well, now we have an understanding of to why this happened, right? But if you didn't go there to shoot at these people, I need to know that.
If you're going to lie to two detectives, you might want to sound a little more confident than Ayla does here. Just by looking at her face, you can tell how close she was to breaking. But instead of taking the opportunity, she sticks to the same strategy that hasn't helped her once so far.
He also has a Glock 43.
Okay, is that a 9mm?
I think.
Where is that clock?
We usually keep it at camp, so it should be it'd be somewhere in the car.
In the car still?
Yeah.
You didn't leave it in camp?
No, so we packed everything up.
Okay. You guarantee that is that the gun he used to shoot?
I don't know.
I mean, you guarantee that it's not going to line up to the FN, right? Guarantee that it's not going to end up to the Kimber that's in your purse. How do you guarantee that?
Because I know it wouldn't have been those two.
Was it the I mean, come on. Was it the
I
Glock?
don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you don't know, did you pull the trigger?
No.
Are you positive on that?
I'm positive.
Okay. Because that's what I need to know. Because there's a difference between pulling the trigger and not pulling the trigger. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so what you don't understand is the consequence can actually be the same if you did or didn't pull the trigger if you were working in concert with the person that did. And what I mean by working is just being with them and going through with it. Does that make sense? And that's why we need to understand this, because this isn't going to go away. And we're going to have all those guns, and we're going to do the ballistics on all of those guns. That I can guarantee you. Okay, and is your DNA going to be on that Glock?
I've definitely touched it.
Okay, so how do we explain this? That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's so much that we have to explain, and it can be an easy explanation, but we have to be honest with each other. I'm not kidding you when I tell you this person did not die. He literally just got shot in the foot. If he died, this would be a way different type of conversation. Okay, so this can be explained. If he would have been dead, I'd say, you know what, you kind of got coming what you got coming. But I don't think you pulled the trigger. I really don't. I'm not feeling that anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. And I hope I'm not wrong. And I hope you're being honest with me when you say that you didn't pull the trigger. Because later on, we're going to find out who pulled that trigger. Your DNA is on the gun too. That's problematic, unless I get some honesty from you. Does that make sense to you? Because
Yes.
when later on comes around, and then you want to say, okay, I'm sorry, I was just scared. I didn't want to tell you because for whatever reason, then it's too late. Because by then, remember what I told you about one thing you can lose in this life? The only way you can lose it is if you allow somebody to take it from you. It's your word. And so if you don't give me your honest truth right now and give me your word and being honest about this shooting, it's not going to mean much. It's not going to carry much weight later on down the road. And so I just need your honesty. And I think deep inside you are scared, to be honest. That's what
Of course I am.
you should be. And that would be normal, because if you didn't, I would be concerned.
Someone with a long history of abuse from men just got manhandled. Of course I'm terrified.
Of course you
Can I please talk to someone?
Like, what do you mean?
Like an attorney or something? It just...
Are you saying you want to talk to an attorney? Do you not want to talk to us anymore?
Not right now, no.
Okay, that's fine. That's your right. So I'm going to explain. You are under arrest, okay, for attempted first-degree murder. Okay? And so what's going to be happening here is we're going to have some people process you, take your DNA, and things of that nature, okay? I'm going to get you some water, okay? And then you're going to be going to the jail in here in Montana, and then you're going to be extradited to Colorado, okay? And then you'll end up going to see a judge over there. So right now you have no bond, so meaning you can't even get out of jail until you see a judge, okay? All right. Do you have any other questions for me? I'm sorry.
Is everyone okay?
Is there? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Nobody's hurt. Okay, kiddo? I mean that. All right?
The moment Ayla hears that no one died, you can almost see the tension leave her face. That was clearly the outcome she had been most afraid of. Unfortunately for her, pulling the trigger isn't the only way to end up responsible. Being in the car and helping the situation carries the same consequences. And now it was time for both of them to face the reality of what they had done. In June of 2024, Ayla Osterloth reached a plea agreement with prosecutors and pleaded guilty to attempted second-degree murder for driving the SUV during the shooting. Because of her age and role in the crime, she was sentenced to 4 years in the Colorado Youthful Offender System, with an additional 8-year prison sentence that will only apply if she fails to complete the program. Aaron Lambertus faced a much harsher outcome. In September of 2024, he pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree murder with a crime of violence enhancement for using a handgun. He was ultimately sentenced to 20 years in prison, followed by 5 years of parole. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here.